Welcome to the Dang Good Show. Life as it is already tough. Why not make it a little bit more comfortable with some fun? Each episode, I will deliver straight facts to inspire positive change so you can live a dang good life. If you want to learn more how to be social and self-aware, or just want to hear some great advice on life's adventure with a few laughs, this show is definitely for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, C. Dang from beautiful Vancouver of British Columbia. You can catch me on Instagram at Christine_Dang or my website, c-dang.com. This is episode 003, and I have a guest today on the show, and we're going to talk about how important the value of time and hard work is. My guest today is a fellow Vancouverette who's born and raised in the area of Commercial Drive. She's a confident content creator who has been in the marketing industry for 10 years and believes in the value of time and hard work. Her purpose is to tell stories and articulate them through content in the most beautiful, beautiful way. You can catch her on Instagram at thisgirl_Rosa. That's at thisgirl_Rosa. That's ROSA. But most importantly, she believes you can take your passion and skill to apply it to a role that you always wanted to any industry. You just have to have the drive, patient, and put in a lot of hard work to achieve that, because nothing is impossible. Without further ado, a warm welcome to Rosa Tang for being here on the show.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me. This is
awesome.
exciting.
I know. Now, this is interesting because we've known each other for quite some time, and we're both in the creative field, but we never really ever talked about it or anything. So this is so awesome that we're finally collaborating.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. If you guys don't know, Christine and I used to go to high school together, but she was older. She's older. She's like 2 years older than me. So she's too cool.
I thought the same way for you because you're so beautiful. Like,
thank you.
And it's like another Vietnamese person. If you don't know, like my background's Vietnamese, and Rosa here, she's legit like half French, half Vietnamese.
I know, but my Vietnamese is kind of broken though. But I can get by. Like, I make sure no one rips me off and talks crap about me at the nail salons.
Same here. Like I just like the element of surprise when you speak Vietnamese. They're like, oh my God, you're Vietnamese. And that's like the best thing ever.
You get it. I get it all the time too. They're like, whoa, where did you learn that? It's like, yeah, my father.
Now, okay, so you talked about like your passion and skills and applying them into a role. Now, that's something that I really want to pick your brain on. Like, how do you do that with your life?
I would probably have to start and blame my parents for being very OCD in a sense where it's that, I mean, like it was a little bit excessive, but it got to the point where I think from building like to-do lists and like making sure that my mom wrote a lot of our schedules out and stuff like that. Like, this needs to be done by this time. Practice that's here. You got to go all the way over there. So that was kind of ingrained in all of us kids. And at that, yeah. So it's just like, I got to the point where when I got into university, I was just like, what kind of field do I want to get into? I loved sciences, was like my favorite subject in high school. I like how to know how procedures work and stuff like that. So it kind of like, if you think about it, it's like mom and dad going, do. And then science is like, do. And then you're like, okay, well, that just makes sense, right?
That's beautiful.
So yeah, that's how it started that way.
Yeah. Now, not a lot of people know, but like I'm the most like organized freak ever. I have joy when I organize a file and then I'll look at it again and be like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Like, I just love this so much. Are you the same way?
Literally before we started this, I was organizing my closet and putting all of my like shoe boxes like in order by size. And like coordinating it by color, because some of the boxes are different colored oranges from the Nike boxes. Yeah. It's funny that you say that. And I was doing laundry prior to.
Now, okay, we're going to talk about your Instagram account. Okay. I love the feel and the collective photos that you have on your Instagram. Now, everyone listening, again, you got to check out her Instagram. It's at thisgirl_Rosa. Again, that's thisgirl_ROSA. So take me through why you choose a certain color and what feel you want it. Because I know a lot of people doesn't understand content creating and how they should, come about with it.
I think with me, the whole point of my Instagram is to kind of like portray the work that I do anything that inspires me, and the photos that I take, which is like part of what my career is. And you have an eye for it. So if I take tons of photos, I edit them all the time. I still have photos that I edit that I haven't even posted. When you post and you look at the grid, I just kind of, I don't know, I just know what the next one should be. And it's usually something that either I've taken or something that inspires me, or it's like a fun night out with friends or something. Because as much as I like to showcase my work, I also want people to know like I'm a human being and I have fun and stuff like that too. So,
you have a life, you're not a robot.
No, and like the whole point of my Instagram is to like allow people to understand and see like, oh my God, this is Rosa. It's a collection of everything that I feel represents me. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Like, I think a lot of people don't understand is like, there are certain filters, like on Visco, for example. For the feel, you have to have 3 filters that kind of looks the same, and you go through those 3 filters only to have that unique, same feel.
Yeah, it's like cohesive. Yeah. Filters are great because they're preset, but the ones that I use, and I use that app sometimes too, but actually do it by hand. And you go into like the back end and then you kind of adjust it to whatever you feel. And I notice there's a specific type of contrast I like and exposure and stuff like that. The first time I did it, I kind of did it for the first like 3 photos. I took note of what the amount was, and I just kept it consistent.
That's hardcore. That's a lot to remember, if anything, because there's like the different percentage for each and every one of them.
No, that's what your notebook on your iPhone is for. You gotta be like, oh yeah, exposure is like plus 2.9. Oh yeah, and the contrast is but it's just to keep things consistent, right? Like sometimes when I take photos and I edit them separately on my MacBook, it's usually through a series, and I usually, once I set that series in their own kind of filter edited way, I keep it like that. Yeah. I don't change it to adjust it to my Instagram. So I just kind of keep it the way it is.
A preset, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, so the next question is how long does it take for you to do one photo? Because a lot of people think that, these guys are so talented. It's like they look at it and they get to know right away, but that's not the case at all. You take there's a lot of effort put into it.
I feel like there's a lot of science behind it, but it's true. It's like you have to have the eye for it, and you just know. So if I look at a photo, depending on how I take it, like with my camera, like I have a DSLR that I go around town, or when I go travel, I take with me and take photos.
Beautiful.
Like I'm actually in the process of editing a whole bunch of photos that I took from November to New York, and I think I took over 600 photos.
Oh man, yeah.
So, and then like each one is like pocketed in different neighborhoods that I hung out in. So they're all edited a little different.
Yeah.
Because they're all taken differently, right?
Yeah.
So someone's taken at night, someone's taken during the day. So yeah. I don't know. I like photo editing. Yeah. I can literally stick like a 2-hour playlist off my Spotify playlist and just count in and just go at it and like put my phone away. I won't even answer my phone calls.
I'll zone in. So nice.
Sorry, friends. Don't have me as your emergency contact. Those 2 hours, you might be dead.
So Rosa is a freelancer and she does creative consulting. Now, I'm going to get you to explain this to a lot of people who doesn't understand. And what Rosa just explained is what she does, and she's a professional. And this is why a lot of people do hire someone like Rosa to, go into their Instagram, go into their Twitter, go into their website, or whatever it is, just to help you have a brand image, and she helped you stick with that. So Rosa, for anyone who does not know what a creative consultant is, what is it?
What I do as a creative consultant is mainly more so brand strategy, creative direction, and content producing. Those are the main 3. I do a social media management and all that stuff, and blog management. But more so I focus on the content production and creative direction, which is really, really, I don't know, I hold close to my heart because it's like a good way for me to articulate and take somebody else's vision and goals and ideas and kind of make it come to fruition, whether it's like in a static photo or it's in a beautiful 1-minute video or something like that. It's just kind of showcase their passion. And I'm taking those ideas and putting them in to come to real life and, having other people see it.
Okay, so let's break this down just so people can understand more. When you say brand strategy, what are the procedures? I don't know what you're going to do, but can you please explain to me what brand strategy is?
So say, for instance, you have a business for you're coming up with a clothing line and you're like, Rosa, I have this clothing line that's coming up. And then I'll sit down with you and I'm like, okay, so what are your goals? What kind of aesthetics do you want? Like, and talk about your product. Let me know the highlights of it. And then let me know things that other brands that inspire you. And then from that consultation, I'll take that away, put together a mood board and put together a strategy because now you're starting from fresh. So I'll be, okay, so this is the look and feel of this mood board that I put together, judged by all your other accounts that you say that you're inspired by. So I take little components of that, kind of vision something and put together like a couple mood boards to give you and kind of present to you. Once we figure that out, now we got to think of how do you want your brand to look, marketing and all that stuff. So we got to figure out when is your line coming out? When am I able to get samples so that I can put together like photo shoots and stuff? You have to think about doing product shoots and more lifestyle shoots with actual talent in it. And then producing and doing all of that, plus doing all the back end stuff. So like admin, and then I kind of give myself a deadline for that too, so that everyone's held accountable, especially me, because I'm taking your idea and like putting it out there in the world. So I have to make sure that like I don't fall on my face and stuff. And I want to best represent your brand, right? Yeah. Obviously, because once I take it into my hands, it's like my baby. So I want to it's a representative of me. So I want to make sure that it succeeds and does well too. So yeah, in short,
nice.
That's what would happen.
And then the next step would be, I guess you would kind of explain the creative direction in that point and the content production, and you actually explain it in there. So that's basically the whole layout of what you do.
That's the whole thing. So like it can take a concept from like usually something in short may take like 3 months of planning to do because, you know, sometimes you have to take into consideration, like say production for your clothing line for the samples don't come. There's like a delay in the vendor or something. And you're like, it pushes you back by 2 weeks or something. So you always kind of have to leave some like leeway room for that. So yeah.
No, that's great.
Yeah, it's good. It's like, I'm really, really thankful that I kind of went that route.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's great because I think a lot of people just think that, okay, I'm going to hire you and they expect something overnight, but they don't understand how long the process is, the timeline. So I thank you for this. And you just heard Rosa. That's exactly how it is. And I've known her for so long. She's honestly so authentic and so genuine. I love you for that.
Oh, thank you. You can't blushing. I'm actually blushing.
So you mentioned you believe in time, value time. This is something that's very, very dear to my heart. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So one thing that my mother has taught me and has ingrained in my head that you're 5 minutes early, you're on time. And if you're on time, you're late.
That's amazing.
Don't get me wrong, I'm human. I've been late.
Yeah.
But I'm usually one of those people where I'm like, oh crap, like text them or call them like, hey, traffic happened. I don't know, a seagull fell from the sky. Something happened. I'm going to be late. So I give them a timeline and I'm like, I'll be there in like 10:15.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just because if you think about it, it's like time is precious. Imagine sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm supposed to meet a friend and he's like 20 minutes late. Like, how upset would you be? You know, that's so disrespectful in that sense.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, and you're like, what happened? He's like, oh no, I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah. And if you're like me, you're freaking out because you're worried that this person got into an accident.
And then when they get there, you're like, I wish you were in an accident.
Yeah. I'm always early and my friends always make fun of me because you're like, dang, you are always 10 minutes early. But like a lot of my friends are like this and I love you guys if you guys are listening. But my biggest pet peeve is that they're 10, 15 minutes late and I'm just like, what the fuck? Because you know I'm going to be here early. You just take more time to get there.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
And I feel like you value my time.
And the thing is, like, people have to really consider the fact that time is something you can never get back. So you have to be very aware that even though you're spending time with people, you have to be very aware that their time matters just as much as yours does.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Now, let's go into work-wise, because I find that you can tell by the way people work and their ethics when they said that they're going to go on a specific time and then they're like 10 minutes late. You're like, okay, if I'm going to do a project with you, I need you to be punctual with this.
No, for sure. And you know what? Anyone on my team that I do meetings with, they know better not to show up late or else they know I'm not a very nice person sometimes. It's like, I'll nicely yell at you.
Do you set a limit?
Oh yeah.
Do you set a limit? Because I know someone in San Francisco. I'm like, how do you handle people being late? Because he's very punctual and he's an amazing business person. And he's like, they're just never late. Because I tell them right away, if you're going to be late 5 minutes, I'm going to leave. Like straight up.
No, 100%.
Even with his clients. And so his clients know that they would never be late because
100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's the thing. I've done meetings, and I don't mean to sound very harsh and super old school, but I'll be one of those people where I'm sitting at a cafe in a meeting room or something. And if you're like 5-10 minutes late, you don't come in. You don't come into the meeting. You can figure it out afterwards. I'll talk to you afterwards, but you do not come into the meeting late and then disrupt everything. That's just not fair. That's not fair. So.
No, I feel you on that. I think so. People out there listening, time is precious. And let me tell you, when someone is on time and they are punctual, they are labeled as professional and reliable. That's the most important thing. I think in this day and world, we can't depend on a lot of people. I always say that I depend on myself, but when I'm hanging with a friend or working with someone, I value time so much. And when someone is on time and they're like, or they call me, I honestly respect them even 10 folds more. Anyone.
Yeah,
even
of course.
If they're not my friends. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, no. If I ever have kids, they're never allowed to be late or else they won't come inside the house.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Ingrain it in their heads, if anything.
So you can sleep outside. You see that sleeping bag? That's got your name written all over it.
Okay, so that was great right there. Like, time is so important, and respect other people's time because the world does not revolve around you. That's basically what we're trying to say to the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or else you'll sleep outside with a sleeping bag. You don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Now, the next part was hard work, because honestly, hard work does pay off. So there are different levels of hard work. Now, I would love to hear your input on this because a lot of people don't understand what hard work is and putting in the effort. They think that hard work means you're just keeping busy.
Hard work, it's one of those things where it's by the amount of work you put in. If you're going to put very little work in, you're going to get very little results. If you put all of your hard work in, then it's more likely to come to fruition a lot faster. But then again, I'm putting into time too, right? It's all timing as well. But any type of work that you put in never goes unnoticed. It'll always somehow be in your favor. So the harder you work, I feel the better the rewarding you will get.
Yeah.
Or the reward you will get.
People look up to you more. Again, reliability. Like, I work multiple jobs and I do a lot of freelancing. And the one thing that I hear from a lot of people and they complain about is saying biggest pet peeve is when people are like, oh, Dan got this. I'm not going to put in as much work because Dan got this. But the thing is, they don't understand that people are actually looking down on you because, oh, you're that guy or you're that person.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy or that person.
No.
Anything that you do, you should be putting like 110%, whether it's like something to do at home, something to do at work, a relationship, any type of relationship. Hard work is like needed.
Yeah, especially relationships.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you need it, and it goes two ways too, right? You can put in all the hard work, but people need to meet you that halfway as well.
Yeah.
So,
like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button right now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you so much for your support. On Instagram, follow me at Christine_Dang, where I share aha moments and a few laughs. And lastly, if you want to find out more information about the show, visit thedangoodshow.com. Let's get back to the show.
Let's talk a little bit about relationship. You told me that you do Zoom calls or whatever with your siblings, and just hearing that right away, I already know that you guys have each other back 100%. Give me examples of or just tell people why it's so important to have these type of communication with your family or even your friends.
I feel like, as much as everyone works really hard and they spend most of their day at work with their work family, your extended family, which is like your friends, and your immediate family, like your sister and brother, the relationship between that and you is very important too, because I feel like it helps support you when shit at work doesn't go well or shit here doesn't go well. You at least have a support system.
Yeah.
And it's not, and you have to put in the work for that too. Like you can't get lazy about that.
Yeah.
And especially with, as I've gotten older, I always feel like, you know, where I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, I don't have time. You always have time. It's a choice.
Yeah.
You choose to put time and effort and hard work into these relationships. It would only benefit you.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
You'll get so much like positive things coming from that why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And I understand like everyone, there's relationships are all different.
Yeah.
They all could, like some can be strained and some can be like really great. But like, if you don't put in that effort, how would you ever know how great it could be and what it could, like what positivity it could give you kind of thing. So, I mean, my siblings and I, we Zoom every Sunday.
Beautiful.
For like a couple hours.
Yeah.
And we try to keep it consistent. And we were so busy before. Like my sister lives in LA and she's like a superintendent of like a LA school district. Aww. And then my brother's in like third year med school. Aww. And then there's me working like all the time too. So we were so busy before until COVID hit. And then we weren't allowed to go anywhere. Yeah. So we kind of reached out to each other and then we had this long Zoom chat. And it was like 6 hours.
What? 6 hours?
It was 6 hours.
Goodness.
6 hours because we hadn't talked to each other for like months.
Oh, wow.
My sister was like working and also finishing up one of her PhDs. And then my brother was going to school and stuff and had so many exams. And then I was just full on working like crazy. That's my cat.
Okay, if you guys want to see Luna, I'm gonna share a photo of her. She has this little stash. It's adorable.
It's pretty cute. She's pretty cute. See, my relationship with her is like a big deal too. Yeah. Like I gotta put effort into her.
Yeah.
She's needy.
Yeah, my dog Squirt. He was always on my Instagram.
You named your dog Squirt?
His name is Squirt. He's a little shit, that guy. Like my parents, my grandma can't pronounce his name, so they call him Worse.
Worse?
Worse, because they couldn't say Squirt.
That's such a Vietnamese thing. Oh, look at that. Worse.
Yeah. But he, honestly, I put in so much time and effort with. We began to have a really good connection. And this is just a dog. I know it's just a dog, but it's okay.
No, it's not. It's not just a dog. It's like your family. When you have a pet, it's like your own kid.
It's my baby. He was, yeah.
They're like, we're their slaves until they're gone.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We chose them. Well, yeah.
So when I moved in downtown, this is like freaking 2009, a long time ago, okay? And took him like legit every morning, 6 a.m., 1 hour walk. And then at nighttime, another 1 hour walk. And then throughout the day, I'll try to do multiple walks.
Yeah.
I know people who doesn't have pets won't understand. You guys need to have pets, if anything. Even have a bird or something.
Oh, yeah. Or like a goldfish and talk to it. I talk to Luna all the time. She knows my deepest, darkest secrets. She won't tell anyone, but like she knows everything about me. But the thing with when you build that relationship with them, it's crazy though, because they have the sense where, I don't know if Squirt was like that with you, but Luna's very weird in a sense where she's like, ooh, touch me, but then stop touching me.
Yeah.
But like when I have a bad day at work, or like I just had a shitty week, she usually never sleeps with me. She'll sleep like in the living room by choice. That's her choice. But like when I'm sad or upset or something, she knows and she follows me around the apartment everywhere. And then she actually curls up like right beside me in my bed. And I'm like, oh, you know, they just know. But that took a lot of work too. You have to build that trust with them, right? And that's the same thing with anything, whether it's colleagues, whether it's friendship, whether it's like a significant other or your family. Hard work. That's all it is.
Yeah. You get more intuitive with someone you spend a lot of time with. And when you have that connection, the energy doesn't lie. It's such a beautiful, that's the thing about energy. Like it's so beautiful that when you are in tune with someone, someone with a beating heart, your cat or whatever, you just automatically know when the energy shifts from something negative and something positive.
Oh, for sure.
Squirt was exactly like Luna. When I'm in the shits and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Squirt will be around me and bring his duck.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So I miss him. I mean, like he passed away last year and I had to say like,
I'm sorry.
Dude, I thought I dealt with grief before, but because he's been with me for 15 years, it was the way he cried. Like, it's just, I never experienced that before.
It's devastating. I know it doesn't equate to losing a child because I will never understand that, at least right now.
Yeah.
But like, it's I don't know. It's just like you build this, you watch this thing grow and you are part of nurturing it. So once it leaves you, you're devastated. You're heartbroken, right? I get it.
Yeah.
So moral of the story is get a cat or dog or goldfish or whatever. It takes work. It's all a lot of work, man.
Yeah. So yeah, with time, I mean, respect people's time, because quite honestly, when you do, you don't even need to tell people who you are. People already see it because that's what you value and that's your integrity. And same thing with putting in effort. When you don't put in effort in a lot of things, if me and you see that, we're like, okay, this guy is kind of lazy, or this is not dependable. This guy's not reliable.
It's not a good quality to have. Yeah. Exactly. Those are things you don't want to be known for.
But I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, they won't notice. People notice, homie. Like, people will know. You think people don't see that and don't talk about you? They will know. And and that just goes to show, like, it's whatever you put out there and how you present yourself, it creates a ripple effect. People will know. People feel the energy.
But think about it, like, take, for example, getting on the train of going to the gym. This is me actually talking. Okay, this is my goal and my hard work that I have to put in myself.
Yeah.
And it plays in with time and patience as well.
Yeah.
A dog is barking really loudly outside. Sorry. So can you hear it? It's so bad. So my goal, so my fitness goal, and I'll share this. This is one of my deepest, darkest secrets. I want to lose 20 pounds.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but you can't see the bottom half of me right now. But I'm just saying, 15 pounds, 15 pounds. But I want to replace this 15 pounds with muscle.
Preach, girl. Yeah.
Right? So I'm not at all like overweight, fat. I'm not skinny either, but I'm in a situation where I want to feel better, like physically. I want to be strong. So my goal is to start boxing.
Nice.
Go back into spinning. And then I really want to take up, what's it called? Rowing. There's this like club row.
I love rowing.
I've never done it. My girlfriend's like, oh my God, please go with me.
Full body workout, man.
I didn't know that. I was just like, oh, I'm going to have all these curves because I have really broad shoulders. I don't want to look like a linebacker is what I was thinking. But she's like, no, you'll be fine. But in order for me to do that, I have to put in the hard work. And what inspired me was I've seen one of my girlfriends where she was not overweight, but she wasn't happy with her body. And she was just like, you know what? I'm going to put in the hard work. And she literally ate clean, didn't drink for 3 months, and worked out 3 times a week. And she lost so much. She shed so much of that off. Like a lot of it was water weight. She's so toned.
Yeah.
I was like, what the F? And she's like, dude, it was really hard to discipline myself to do that. She's a bartender. And she's like, I had to like not drink. You and I worked in the industry. We know how it's like. It's like so easy to be off shift and be like, let's go have a drink, guys, with everyone. And you're like, okay, cool.
I actually don't drink. That's
you don't drink?
Yo, that's the same reaction everyone gives me when they're like, dang, let's go for a drink. I'm like, I don't drink. I'm in this industry for the music and dance.
How long have you not been drinking?
Since forever. Like, I just don't. When I do, it's rare. The last time I had a drink was with my boyfriend on our first date. And I only did like 1/4 and he finished the rest. That was last March in 2019.
Jesus. You make me feel like an alcoholic.
Yeah, and before that, like I probably had like a drink a year before that. It's just, I don't have fun with it.
Fair.
I think I'm allergic, definitely, being Asian. Definitely.
I'm allergic to red wine. Like if I drink it right away, I'll get hives everywhere.
Oh man.
There's like antihistamines in it. It's very high in it.
Yeah.
So if people are getting hives from it, don't drink it anymore.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I don't really drink that much anymore. Like I'm starting to feel like, what's the point of this? Like I can go socialize with people. I can easily have like a soda and water.
Yeah.
And still have fun. Or a Red Bull if I really need to stay up because I can't stay up anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy. I'm not 25 anymore, man. It's not worth it.
All right, guys. So thank you, Rosa Tang, for being on the show. Thank you so much for your feedback. And honestly, I appreciate you so much. I
appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
Awesome. So again, you can catch Rosa on Instagram at thisgirl_Rosa. Again, that's thisgirl_ROSA. Do you have any final words for the audience?
Enjoy whatever's left of summer because it's going to start to rain soon.
Oh my goodness. Vancouver is coming up and it's going to be so
You know what? I don't
cold.
mind it at all. I don't mind it at all. I'm actually waiting for this stupid summer to end already. I'm actually waiting for this year to end already.
I know 2020 cannot like go by any fast. It went by fast, but at the same time, it's like very, very slow as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining me on The Dang Good Show. Make sure you visit my website, thedangoodshow.com, where you can subscribe to the show on Apple, Google, or Spotify, or wherever it is, just so you'll never miss an episode. While you're at it, if you find valuable information on the show, I would greatly appreciate it if you can give me a thumbs up and a good ratings on iTunes or whichever platform you're listening from. But even if you simply tell a friend about the show, that would totally help me out too. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm C Dang, signing out. I'll catch you next time.